The first time I saw someone killed in front of me, it was at the Queen's feast. I remember the blood, still warm on the ground, and the way Queen Adisa smiled as if it was all part of the celebration. From that day, the village of Abonyo was never the same. My name is Kwame, and when I was a child, we lived in fear of Queen Adisa. People said she was once beautiful, but I only knew her as cruel and terrifying. Her soldiers would take anyone who spoke against her, and they never came back. At night, screams would come from the palace, and my mother would tell me to stay quiet, not to ask questions. But even as a boy, I knew something was terribly wrong. One day, the queen announced a great feast for the village. She claimed she wanted to share her wealth, to show kindness to her people. My father told me to stay away, but curiosity got the better of me, and I went with my friends. The palace was filled with music and laughter, but something felt wrong. I couldn't shake the feeling that we were all walking into a trap. Then, the queen stood up, raised her hand, and the music stopped. "We are all family here," she said, "but some of you are not loyal. Some of you speak against me in secret." The crowd fell silent. I could feel the fear tightening around us like a rope. "I will show mercy," the queen said, her voice as cold as her eyes. "Bring them out." Soldiers dragged several villagers to the front. I recognized them, people who had spoken out about the queen's taxes or who had simply wanted to leave Abonyo. Without a word, the queen gave a signal, and the soldiers began to kill them, one by one. Their bodies fell to the ground, the sound of their last breaths hanging in the air. I wanted to run, to scream, but my legs were frozen in place. The queen looked over the crowd, her gaze landing on each of us. For a moment, I thought her eyes locked with mine, but then she turned away, as if satisfied. That night, none of us slept. The village was quiet the next morning. No one dared speak of what we had seen, but we all knew. Queen Adisa ruled through fear, and no one could stop her. Years later, the people rose up against her, and she was overthrown. But even with her gone, the memory of that night stayed with me. Sometimes, when the forest is quiet, I can still hear the screams, like a whisper on the wind.